What's up everyone, this is Donnie aka Elevated with another video on behalf of Dota Alchemy, and this video is going to be fun because I just played it, so it's very fresh in my mind, and it was a pretty interesting experience. So basically the backstory is kind of a wide range of MMR. We have a rank 200 player who is on Storm. I'm playing Treant Protector in this game. And so our Storm is a 200 rank player and he's playing position 4. We have a rank 2000 carry, Divine 3 mid, and a Divine 3 offlaner. And on the other side, the highest ranked player is this Alchemist, who is rank 400 or so. So not quite as high rank as the 200, but certainly probably around 6.5k or something like that. And then there are a couple other immortals on their team as well. We have an account buyer in this game, and I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to figure out who it is. It's really just an exercise in futility and something that I think really should stop because it's so pointless. Anybody who's good at the game will immediately know if you're not where you belong in terms of your skill rating, and so it's not like you're fooling anybody when you're playing in a game that is significantly higher skill than you actually are. One of the first telltale signs that could determine who bought their account is in their starting items. If this Alchemist had started with a Quelling Blade, pretty obvious that he's not actually a rank 400 carry player. And Storm Spirit, if he had started with some weird build like no regen or something like that, it would be pretty obvious that he is the account buyer. So far, it looks pretty good. Basilius Tangos is a pretty standard 4-role build, and no Quelling Blade in the inventory means that this guy is showing up to lane with a adequate amount of regen for a pretty weak hero in a pretty tough matchup against 2 ranged heroes. So nothing that we can glean from this yet. Now, as the bounties are about to spawn, obviously it is very important to contest the Alchemist for these bounty runes because of Grievel's Greed. And so we see that the Dire side has put 2 heroes down here. Radiant has brought 3 heroes, Bounty Hunter electing to be down here to fight for the bounty runes with Alchemist. And we're going to see them starting to trade. Alchemist up front, and he starts taking quite a bit of damage, backs out a little bit, trying to bait the Storm in. Storm does go in for the rune, but then he will walk away as well. Alchemist does claim a bounty rune, and Storm is getting quite low. Enchantress pops the heal and starts to trade it with Witch Doctor. Alchemist wraps around, and Bounty Hunter also wraps around onto the Enchantress as they hit each other. Storm gets quite low, taking a stun, but does turn around as the creeps come in, and Enchantress,
where is everyone?
Mans up with Storm, and they end up killing the Witch Doctor for first blood. Now, as we head into the first creep wave, we're going to see that Alchemist has a Quelling Blade. Enchantress splits the wave, and Alchemist ends up pulling it into tower, misses the last hit there, and is now having to last hit under tower. Gets 1. The range creep gets pinged out by the Storm Spirit. Alchemist gets the last hits under tower and also secures the range creep as well. Still looking pretty good from both sides. Storm Spirit unable to get the deny. Alchemist does secure the last hits, which is super important with his Grievel's Greed. And he's going to continue to just try and get as much farm as possible while his supports trade with the Enchantress and the Storm Spirit. At this point, we see that Storm is out of regen and only has the Basilius to get mana back, but he does not want to leave the lane at level 1 and walk all the way back to Fountain, so he's going to just stick around and try and trade as much as possible, while also providing the Basilius aura for the Enchantress, who can potentially heal them in just a few mana. And as the pull goes off, Alchemist is going to pull the creeps back and continue to farm up, while Witch Doctor tries to get aggressive on the 2 offlane heroes. He's going to run up, Maledict the Enchantress, and fight against the Storm with the Bounty Hunter. They will get a kill on Witch Doctor, manning up on him. Alchemist showing up a bit late, dropping his Acid Spray, but ultimately not able to actually finish off either of these very low heroes. Bounty Hunter will kill Storm as he baits the bounty into tower range, and Enchantress does get a kill, surviving and getting all of the experience. Meanwhile, Alchemist continues to last hit, and his farm is looking pretty good. Storm returns to lane with some more regen, boots, and a magic stick. And he wants to continue to play aggressive, bullying the Alchemist off of any farm he can. So he's going to continue to right-click the Alchemist And now as the heroes have gotten a few levels and the bounty hunter has rotated out of lane, things get much more difficult for the alchemist in terms of getting farm. So it's not as if alchemist should be getting perfect farm by any means. So Storm Spirit is going to get a pull off, which is going to deny the alchemist a full wave of creep since the camp was stacked. And Enchantress will come over to try and contest these two heroes. Alchemist, he's going to back out, bring himself a salve, and Enchantress will play aggressively, looking to looking to cancel the salve. So because this pull is happening, Alchemist is going to run over and try to contest and get some of this farm. Storm Spirit recognizes that he is definitely stronger than the Witch Doctor, who's quite low on HP and mana, especially when he has the Enchantress as backup, and Alchemist just doesn't really contribute that much in the lane. However, I will say that him and the Witch Doctor probably could fight this storm solo if they were to drop the acid spray and fight in it using the cask, because lowering the armor plus the extra damage might be able to actually contest the storm. Alchemist opts to just kind of back out as he realizes that the storm is just bullying his Witch Doctor, drops the acid spray quite late, and then runs out of the acid spray. So a bit of a misplay there from the Alchemist and just misjudging the situation, while Storm Spirit plays very aggressively and shoves him off of the creeps. Now, right here, bounty runes are starting to spawn. Alchemist knows that he wants them, but Storm Spirit cuts him off at the pass, recognizing that he has more HP and mana and probably could just kill the Alchemist if he does come over to contest. So it will be two bounties going the way of Storm Spirit, and Alchemist will have to content himself with just getting some farm. But the wave is also pushing into Enchantress's tower, so Alchemist is kind of in a pickle at this point and needs to pull the lane back. At this point, Alchemist is going to pull the lane back and slightly misses the pull. Storm rotates to the mid lane to soak up some experience as Outworld Devourer has completely left the lane, and Storm will get ganked by Bounty Hunter and Necrophos, who is level 6. He is going to get Reaper Scythe, and he has no escape here, so he will go down as Alchemist farms up a bit of the camp and then heads into the jungle to go farm and use the shrine. Misses a stack there, and as Alchemist heads back to the lane, Storm respawns, and Storm heads back to the mid lane where he is trying to get his level 6. So right now, both heroes just kind of in farm mode. Alchemist doing his best to pull the lane back because he doesn't want to play against the Enchantress while he's under-leveled. And especially as Enchantress gets closer to 6, he's going to need to play very, very far back in the lane and potentially not even show, as the Enchantress can easily bully him. Storm Spirit just continues to push out waves, and Alchemist is getting heavily pressured by the Enchantress as expected. Would definitely look for him to rotate into the jungle very soon as Enchantress tries to dive him in the trees. Alchemist does have a TP available, but instead of using it, he's going to try and fight the Enchantress and will go down. So as we approach the 10-minute mark, I want to just take one more look at the positioning and then pose the question, who do you think is the account buyer after seeing what we have seen so far? Is it the Alchemist facing a very difficult lane, or is it the person who picked Storm Spirit in the position 4 role? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and then we will reveal the true answer at the end of this video. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give us a like, because both of those things raise the MMR of our videos, which allows us to reach more people, teach more people, and ultimately continue to grow the Dota Alchemy channel. Alright, so we're about to 10 minutes. We're going to see that Alchemist has not been able to claim a bounty here. Both of the bottom runes were claimed by Storm and Treant Protector, and Void snags the top 2. Alchemist was slowly making his way over from the jungle to the triangle, where he will be farming for a while. So as we can see, Witch Doctor has determined that it is in fact the Alchemist who is the account buyer, and we're going to watch him make a fairly inefficient path looking for some farm. He's going to walk up high ground into the enemy jungle without being able to see anything, get banished by the OD, who has also just been AFK farming, and ultimately will be destroyed by the dire side. So as we watch the Alchemist respawning and TPing to the nearest farm, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about this game, because from the very beginning of the lane stage, there wasn't a whole lot that we could tell about whether this player was good or not. His last hitting looked pretty good for the first couple of waves, But then there were definitely some smaller things that we started to notice as the game went on. Simply positioning, being kind of questionable, not knowing when to abandon the lane that he really couldn't play into against the Enchantress, not really taking the time to set himself up for success, missing a couple of stacks as he moved across the map, and then just generally not really farming in any sort of efficient pattern at all. It looks like he's kind of just looking at the map and, oh, okay, there's some creeps there. I'm going to walk towards them slowly. No real plan to where he's trying to get and why he's trying to get there. And then really just not a whole lot of efficiency or real decision making. It kind of looks like he's just on autopilot, expecting the fact that he's an alchemist to carry him in this game. Probably, I would have to guess, more like a legend or ancient player, because his mechanics are okay, but the decision making and just sort of the general process of playing his hero looks like it is not very polished at all. His camera movement is kind of slow. He's not really gathering very much information and seems extremely focused on just what he's doing on his screen as opposed to trying to read the game in any real way. And that is the real difference between a high-level player, somebody who belongs in a top 500 Immortal game, and a player who just paid to be there. It's not really the mechanics, it's more so the subtle things, the decision making, the movement, and ultimately the decision making and information gathering that allows you to excel at a game like Dota. So let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if you got your guess right or not, and I would love to hear your perspective on how you think that Valve could potentially fix the account buying problem that seems to continually pop its head up in Dota 2. Good luck, have fun in your games, and we'll see you in another one really soon.